Hi guys, my name's Seb Tudor, I'm the man on Silver Mountain, and welcome back. Now today I wanted to talk about something that's been brought up to me by a couple of you guys in regards to the fact that recently I've done a fair number of videos on kind of staying in a relationship or just getting over one, but I've still not done an awful lot on getting into one in the first place. And one of the things that's been brought up to me was I've talked about how to make a good first impression and how to do this and how to do that, but I've not really mentioned anything to do with the fact that sometimes it's really hard just to find people, because obviously most people nowadays, especially younger people, are going to work every day and they're getting like no time at all to themselves because they go in, they work their guts out, they go home, they collapse, they they try and feed themselves, they try and sleep, and then they're back in the next day doing exactly the same thing with the same people who hate them just as much as they hate them, and in the place that they all hate, and it's just a continual cycle of that. And so there's no real option to find someone new. There's no time necessarily to find someone new, and it just seems like this insurmountable task. And so there are a couple of things. First off, there is online dating, but I want to do another video on that completely because it's an incredibly different beast. Pardon me. But also, there's something that usually comes into a lot of young people's minds, and it's things like clubbing, going on the pull. And first off, there are some issues with that, but also it means that they overlook other things, which we'll get to in a minute. But first off, the going out on the pull, the kind of going out, getting drunk, finding someone to kind of play tonsil tennis with for an evening and then going off to do whatever, whether it's straight back to theirs or whether it's you're hoping that you see them again and then you maybe do, maybe don't. There's one big problem that I had with this when I was younger, and once I'd realised that kind of being around my old group of friends was both still a lot of fun, and I still love those people very much, but it also didn't really let me get out of my shell because I was stuck in that role that I had been with them for around them for a very long time, and so it was like that pattern of behaviour was hard to kind of shrug off. But after that, I still found things like clubs and pubs a pain in the arse when it came to me actually wanting to find some kind of companionship, just because they're always so fucking loud. They're always so fucking busy, and the main tool that you have to generate any kind of relationship, be it long-term or short-term, is conversation, especially if you're relatively but not amazingly attractive, you're not really great at standing out from a crowd, you're, I don't know, a short dude, or a tall woman, or something like that, where you actively on first glance seem to be outside of what the majority of people may very well be looking for. It plays to a huge disadvantage. And so as a result though, lots of people get stuck into this, and they get stuck into these ideas that, oh, that's the place to find the thing that I'm looking for, or this perception that I have already is the limit to what I know, the limit to what there is that exists. And this is kind of the problem anyway, with people getting stuck in their kind of perceptive blocks. But I wanted to potentially suggest another couple of things, two different other places that maybe it will just help you find other things, be it other people, be it just other interests that may lead on to other things, whichever way it works. But here are the two. So the first one is the normal everyday places where people just go, that are boring, the boring jobs, going to the supermarket, going to the bookstore, going to grab a coffee, going to do any of those dull, boring things. They are the places where you are more likely to be free to engage in discussion, to be more observant about the other people around you, because you're not in a club filled with 100 people packed in like sardines, and so as a result, those are the places that maybe you should just be paying more attention. You walk up to maybe a little cliche, but you walk up to a bookshelf in a bookstore. There's someone else that you find attractive already stood there browsing the books that you are also interested in. Strike up a conversation, even if, and this is the important kind of shift in framing this from, oh, I'm going out on the pull because I want to find someone to do X, Y, and Z with. Instead, frame it as you're looking for something interesting when you're out being dull. Yeah? You're there to either bring some happiness to someone else's day or to improve your own. That's all you need to frame it as. Because then you walk up to someone, as said in our bookshop scenario, and you start a conversation with them over the books that they're looking at. Let's say you're a student. Let's say that you're looking at textbooks. They are some of the most boring books on the planet. They are the most boring things that you are probably ever going to read in your life. But you need them, and you're going to be browsing them, and so's this other person. In which case, strike up a conversation. You're going to be improving your day by interacting with another person, even if you're more on the introverted side. You're going to be you're potentially going to be improving their day by, at the very least, adding to their trip. It wasn't just a dull trip. Something unusual happened to them. You know, that's what we were talking about this before in regards to the DVI scale and stuff like that. You know, variety and immersion, that living in the moment and experiencing those different things day to day or hour to hour or whatever. Those are the things that kind of draw people together as much as anything else. You know, and you can throw emotion in there because obviously you're going to have feelings about the books that you're looking at. They're going to have feelings about the books that they're looking at. You're going to have opinions on those things. You're going to strike up that conversation. Look to do stuff like that. Look to engage with just other people just to improve their day or improve yours. You know, and at the very worst, even if it doesn't turn out to be some kind of great, oh, we met in this bookshop and it was a wonderful experience and we went on like 5 dates and then we got together. Even if it doesn't turn out like that, you may well have just have made a new friend, which is nice. Yeah, that enriches your life even if it's not necessarily in the way that you want it to. So there's that. Yeah, look to improve the mundane by collaborating with other people just in simple ways, just by having a quick conversation by a bookshelf, just by doing whatever else. And for those people that are like, yeah, but how would I then turn that conversation at a bookshelf into something else? Ask to continue the conversation. I found what I'm looking for, but I've really enjoyed this conversation. Maybe we should do it again sometime. Do you have an email? Could I grab your number? Whatever. You know, do whatever it is that's more applicable to you. Oh, add us on Facebook. You know, what's your Twitter handle? Whatever. Fucking, there's so many different ways to communicate now, just that are so open. It's social media. It's open to pretty much anybody. You may as well use it. Yeah. If you don't need to give something intimate like a phone number. If someone has an email or a Facebook or a Twitter or anything else that you could randomly find them on, you know, and so you may as well just put it out there. Simple, straightforward, easy, right? So that's the first one, and now here's the second one, and this is the one that stood out kind of for me, because this is how I met Hannah, and this is do things that you love, do things that you are interested in, yeah? Because if you do things that you love and that you're interested in, then you're not there for necessarily finding love, you're not there for anything that's necessarily going to stress you out as much as, granted, this particular, the where I met Hannah I no longer kind of venture out to just because I had some disagreements with the place overall, but it's like do those things that you enjoy and that aren't going to be a hardship to you, because then if you're enjoying yourself and they're enjoying themselves and you guys come together over that, it's already a good starting place because you've got something in common. You've got something to talk about, you've got something to do together, you know, and it stands to reason like that. And it doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't matter what you're doing or necessarily, you know, anything like that, as long as you're doing it together, as long as it's something that you're enjoying. I mean, for Christ's sake, I looked very much like this when Hannah first met me, and, you know, a 6'4" man clad in chainmail and leather armour is not usually the thing that people describe their partners as when they first meet them. And so, you know, you may as well just take advantage of the fact that you can go out into the world and experience these things with people. Choose, you know, any kind of hobby that involves other people. Yeah, literally anything. Go dancing. Go take up a cookery class. Go and do I don't know. Go swimming at the same time every week so that you get to know the staff there or the people there or whatever. You know, do generate something like that. And obviously, I realised earlier on I did say yes. Sometimes it's very hard to find time to do these things. Got to do something during your holiday, right? Take some holiday time, which you're going to have to take at some point anyway. Take some holiday time, and instead of going off on some big random thing, just take a few days for yourself and go and do something that you want to enjoy. You don't have to leave the country on a holiday. You don't have to book off time for all manner of other things. Book off some time just to chill, just to relax, just to refresh yourself. And whilst you're doing that, look at doing something like this. Simple. Just something to get you into something. Yeah? A fitness class even. Go down to the gym. Whatever. Just find a place that you enjoy going to, that you can not even necessarily do it super regularly, but, just run with something. And if you're doing something that you enjoy and they're there and they're enjoying it and so on and so forth, then, you're probably going to become closer. You're going to, at the very least, again, become friends. And if there's anything that I've learned, it's that with these things, if you treat it more like you're enriching your life and enriching their lives through just interacting with people, then chances are you're going to have a much more positive return. Just straight down to, if you don't get with someone that you want to get with, then you end up with a new friend. And that makes it so much more worthwhile. Anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think. Are there any other places that maybe you would add to this list? Other than the mundane, or places that you enjoy over things like clubs and pubs and bars and whatever else. Obviously you've got more organised dating events and things like that if you really wanted to, but I'm not suggesting you've gotten quite to that point yet. But anyway, let me know what you guys think. Add to the list if you like down in the comments. And otherwise, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video or found it interesting, then please drop us a like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the video tomorrow. Take care.